Greetings, greetings, greetings. Peace, peace, peace. Alafia, alafia, alafia. Hotep, hotep, hotep. Islam, Islam, Islam. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Alafia, excuse me. Que pasa, que pasa, que pasa. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. How my family doing? I'm doing great, fam. And I can do great even though I see destruction for others. Because I can't control other people. You know, I've been warning people for a long time of various things. And some taking heed, I believe, and others haven't. You see, there's a such word as indoctrination, where the mind is set to perform a certain way. I'm going to define it that way. Because I overstand, the word. Indoctrination. Arrested development. Laziness. Lack of faith. Lack of belief. Lack of confidence. Lack of courage. And if I can identify these different things, then obviously they exist. And if they exist, if one take the time out to open their eyes and their third eye, which is the overstanding, working your mind to overstand, not just understand or understand what's going on with you. Because, for instance, I correct myself all the time. All the time. But the reason why I do that is because I'm paying attention to myself. I'm paying attention. Why? Because I don't want me to make a mistake. I don't want me to do anything that will bring about, how can I put it? I'm not used to expressing it in that way. Any harm to me, or adversity, or discomfort, or dis-ease. I'm a peaceful brother. I like things to be smooth. You know what I'm saying? And since I can create smoothness for myself, it's smooth. I'm smooth. That's why I can be high vibrational, and I can be happy, and I can be excited, and I can be comfortable with me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I see others destroying themselves. Some months ago, I brought to y'all's attention that some things was going to happen. Well, I don't have to tell y'all that now, because some of y'all already see it. Things happening. California, you know what I'm saying, in particular. In other places, it's spreading. But people still don't know what's going on because they can't see. They blind. Another trait that is within a lot of people, and it was within me, and it held me down like it's holding y'all down. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to continue to hold you down until you acknowledge that they exist in you. Okay? And this applies to those that it applied to. You know what I'm saying? You make that you make that determination. Okay? Because it's your life and you got to live it. And you have to reap what you sow. But I'm telling you, y'all don't want to reap this, what's coming. Y'all don't want to reap it. Because it's going to turn your world upside down. You're going to be so regretful, you know, that if you're given another opportunity, you're going to be in my shoes. Because you're going to start thinking. You're going to start realizing. You're going to start seeing. And you're going to see for yourself that this thing is real. But it's been so far over your head that you ain't took no interest to connect or to lift your thoughts up to understanding it. You know? Because that's what I had to do. I had to lift my thoughts to infinite wisdom. Because that's what the divine instruction said. If the divine instruction says a particular thing that you should do, if you don't do it, it explains your suffering. It explains your lack. It explains your situation. You know? And if you ain't comfortable with your situation, then you got to start being obedient. See, I lost my hard head a long time ago. You know? That thing got soft. You know? Because it floats in water. You see what I'm saying? You know? Sometimes, some circumstances, some situations might come knocking at your door. And if you don't say the right thing, it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty. Because if you don't know yourself, it's over for you. It's over for you. See, y'all be thinking that this is a costume. That I'm pretending to be something I'm not. Just because it's different from what you're used to. But you know, deep down, there's something to what I'm saying. You just can't put your finger on it. And really, you don't care too much to know, you know what I'm saying? Which is the key that you got to pay attention to when that truth comes and just hits you right in your face, where you ain't have no choice but to look at it, because regardless of which way you turn, that's where the truth gonna be right there. It's gonna be plain. Now, you can go in denial, because you got people that live in denial. They would not accept that truth for anything. You know, they gonna live that lie until they die. You know, they faithful to the lie. They committed. They dedicated. You know, it's to death do we part. You know, that's how they feel. Because regardless of how much truth you tell some people, they're not going to embrace it. And I'm not saying that to criticize people. I'm saying it because I understand the damage that causes ones to be in denial. You know what I'm saying? Or to stay where they at in that comfort zone. See, because once you hurt, once you're broken, you see what I'm saying? You so closed off that you won't allow anybody to aid and assist you, even though you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? But it would be a plus to you if you would allow people to aid and assist you. But because of your brokenness, it's like you put up a wall and you're afraid to let anybody in. You see what I'm saying? It's the little girl and the little boy inside of you that was hurt and is traumatized. You see what I'm saying? And the only way it's going to heal is if you love on it, or love on them. You know what I'm saying? Love on her and love on him. Okay? You got to show love to yourself, fam. I had to show love to myself and continue to show love to myself. I didn't love on the little boy in me. You know what I'm saying? Pictured him in my mind. You know what I'm saying? When he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And what he went through. And I let him know, man, it's going to be all right. You got me. You know what I'm saying? We got each other. We going to get through this. You know what I'm saying? But see, some of y'all got other blocks too. Because you've been programmed so much to care about what other people think or what they would say about you if you was to say certain things, or if they was to see you to do certain things or have certain things on. That's kind of like with me doing me right here. You know what I'm saying? I had friends. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care about what my friend thought about with the new me. You see what I'm saying? They didn't care about what I thought about how they live their life, what job they took, what they do on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? What they drink, smoke, sniff, or whatever. It don't got nothing to do with me. The same way what I do don't got nothing to do with nobody else. As far as me making the decision for myself. You know what I'm saying? To better me or to do me like everybody else do them. See, that's a reality that a lot of people don't realize. Everybody's doing them, but often when you are disturbed by what somebody has done, for some reason you put in your mind that you got a right to dictate their behavior. You see what I'm saying? Why do we do that? Why do people do that? You know, I done it before. You know, so I ain't always being at the level of understanding, understanding that I'm at. I had to grow. I had to develop. You know, I had to advance. I had to put in some work and continue to put in work. You know. And you won't know about that work until you take on a similar journey. You know? So to judge someone that's moving in a way that you never moved is foolish. You know what I'm saying? It's even hits the borderline of stupidity. Because you're supposed to know better. You know, not to talk about people. You know? Why would you want to express your opinion? It's not based in facts. Because it's an opinion. It's just your thoughts, which have no merit on who you thinking about. You know how people say you think you better than everybody, or you think you this, or you think you that. How you gonna tell somebody what they think? Them are your thoughts that you're projecting on them. You thought that. You know what I'm saying? And you probably still don't want self-responsibility, do you? It's programmed. It's the indoctrination. That's how we've been raised. We witness our elders say these stupid things. That's why we saying them. That's why I said them. I don't say them no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm very mindful what I say because I have shaped and molded myself into a new being. You know what I'm saying? The same way in the Christian church, you become a new being in Christ. Right? You change from your old ways to your new ways. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing. It is magnificent. It's so great. I don't got time to care about what other people say about me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I walk alone. You know, I can walk alone, but I don't walk alone. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always got angels protecting me. I got my ancestors protecting me. You know what I'm saying? I got the nobility protecting me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got spirits protecting me. I got brothers and sisters protecting me. You know what I'm saying? You know, in many ways. It's amazing when you tap into yourself, when you learn to love yourself, what you can give yourself. Because think about it. If you never loved yourself, I'm talking about truly love yourself, and a lot of y'all ain't never loved yourself because we wasn't raised in an environment of love. Don't know about no love. You know? I wouldn't, and this is my opinion, but my opinion borderlines facts and some truths. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know about you particularly, but I know some of y'all out there that fit the description that I'm speaking on. I done dealt with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I done witnessed it being out. You know? I get around. I see things. Witness things. You know? Experience things. And I just don't see something and judge it like most of y'all do. When I see something, I analyze it. Same way I analyze myself. Because through analyzing myself, I had discovered so much. So in discovering me, and I see you like me, because you got 2 arms, 2 hands, a head, ears, eyes, nose, mouth. You know what I'm saying? Just like I do. You know? And you talk like I do. You got a voice. I got a voice. You know? I blink and sniff, inhale, exhale. You know? Breathe. Move around. You see what I'm saying? So, when I understand me, I understand you. And I verify that when I pay attention instead of being quick to judge. And when I look and I hear, okay, because I can relate. Some things I can't relate with, but I still understand what's going on based on the information that I have gathered or accumulated or from my analysis of myself. Yeah, my analysis. So I'm able to connect with people. You know, I shared with y'all before, I'm an empath. You know, I feel people's pain. I feel people's energy. I feel a lot of things, you know. And it's because of my experience, my gifts, my talents, my skills. You know what I'm saying? And it allows me to not only see, but I got enough knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to aid and assist anybody in any situation. Anybody in any situation. You know? Same way you can. All we need to do is first, don't go in hearing the problem and allowing the problem to be so overwhelming to you. Because the only reason why it'll be overwhelming, because as you hear the problem, you realize that your hands is tied. There's nothing you can do. You see what I'm saying? You know? But that's due to your limited knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, experience, you know. Yeah, plainly put it. So when you lack in those areas, you know what I'm saying, then there's not too much you're gonna be able to do. That's like your car only has a third of a tank, or 1/3 of a tank. Okay, you know, it means you got 3 other sections that can be filled to make it a whole. Okay, so you can only go so far on 1/4 of a tank. Okay, you can only behave on a limited degree of knowledge. Because if you don't know, if you're not aware, if you're not informed, then you in the dark. You know, be like Scooby-Doo. Because you don't know. But that's the reason why it came a point in my life I realized I didn't know. I was but I wanted to help. You know what I'm saying? So since I didn't know, I began to seek and find out. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have a passion like I do to help people, and you run into a situation or circumstance that someone's in that you're trying to help, and based on what it is, you feel like your hands is tied because you don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Look it up. Google it. Ask a question. Whatever it is you don't understand about this situation, first ask the person to get deeper. You got to have more information. Don't allow the initial information shock you to the point where your brain locked, where you ain't thinking no more, where you feel like you can't figure nothing out because you so stunned. You know, it's like you just froze up. You know how, like a deer in the headlights. You know what I'm saying? Or similar. Have confidence in yourself and be like an investigator. Ask questions. It's natural. I know most people don't do it, but they should. You know, they should. It's beneficial. You know, it will improve every aspect of your life because communication is key in all things except being silent. Okay? So if you don't know how to communicate because you're not seeking information, then that's a lack of love. Because you're walking around on 1/4 of a tank when you have the potential to have a full tank, but you don't have no interest to fill your tank up. We ain't never looked at it like that. It's a lot of things we ain't never looked at because of the indoctrination, because of the program. We have allowed another group of people to direct us in a way that we knew wasn't beneficial to us. All because we felt like we were powerless because of our lack of knowledge. Because if you had knowledge, they wouldn't be able to do you like that. That's why you can never enslave a Moor. You can never enslave a Muslim. You can never enslave a conscious man or woman. It's impossible. It's impossible. I had to be gullible. I had to be ignorant. I had to be naive for anybody to control me and have me doing whatever they want me to do. Because it doesn't constitute you being in your right mind for you to be a slave to somebody. Don't make sense. In the laws itself, it says all men are created equal. You know what I'm saying? And free to live a life, how they go, freedom, justice, and equality. You know, I think it's another one though. I'm trying to think of. But you have rights that you don't know you have, because you done seen these people do things and get away with it. But the only reason why they got away with it is because you let them get away with it, or the person they did it to let them get away with it because of their lack of knowledge. That's why most of the time a person got to go pay an attorney. Why? Because the attorney got information and knowledge that you don't have. And that's a sign right there that you're supposed to have his knowledge, so you won't have to pay an attorney. But we don't think like that, do we? Which means we don't think at all. Well, I come to learn to think like that, Because, see, I'm going to do what's best for me. You know what I'm saying? And when I see that I can improve my life, I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to let nobody get in my way. Nobody. Nobody has the right to get in my way. You know what I'm saying? And if someone feel like they got a right to get in my way, I'm going to go around them. You know what I'm saying? And if they go that way, try to keep me from going that way, I'm going to go this way. You know what I'm saying? If I go over, I'm going to go over. If I go under, I'm going to go under. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I'm going to live my life the way I choose. Like everybody else living their life the way they choose. Even the ones that choose to be slaves. Because slavery is a choice. Do you get it now? Because back then, a lot of people went against Kanye West because they didn't understand, or understand Kanye West. I was aware because I'm a reader. I'm a seeker. And been doing it for some time. Y'all know y'all can't relate with a lot of things people say. But your ego don't allow you to humble yourself and admit, I ain't understand nothing they just said. It went over my head. Because you care about what other people think of you. Because you have low self-esteem. You have low self-confidence. I've been there. That's how I know. I don't speak on nothing I don't know about. Sometimes I know more about a thing, than other things I speak on, But rarely do I speak on anything that I don't know nothing about. I can't speak on it. What I'm going to say? I ain't read up on it. I have no information of it. So why would I be talking on something that I know nothing about? It don't make sense, do it? That's another stupid behavior, that we supposed to know better about. But yet, most people don't. However, it is in everyone's best interest, fam, to wake up. Pay attention to what's going on around you. And figure out what you need to do to protect yourself from any and all harm that you see others experiencing. See, y'all so used to things not coming at your door and see other people experiencing it. And you think that long as they experiencing over there, then I'm good. See, that's how niggas think. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about niggas all the way back to so-called slavery. The nigga mentality. As long as it's happening to someone else, it ain't my business. But when it happens to you, then you figure out through how you feel, why didn't they help me? How come nobody else said anything? Because everybody got a nigga mentality. Niggas don't help each other. Blacks don't help each other. Niggas and blacks weren't taught to help each other. Weren't taught to love each other. Weren't taught to depend on each other. Weren't taught to come together and have their own nation. They own city. They own towns. They own money. They own independence. That's a nigga. Because he don't stand for nothing. But he follow everybody else. Kissing everybody else's ass. That's what niggas do. And they kill each other. Not just physically. They kill each other with words. Because hate kills. And when you speak ill of someone, I ain't talking about just negative. Because a person can do negative. And you can point it out because you seen it. You witnessed it. You experienced it. It don't mean you hating. You just acknowledging what you see. Repeat what you see. Whatever your intent is will determine whether you hating or not. You know what I'm saying? But the negativity comes from you. You know what I'm saying? Whoever committed the act. You know what I'm saying? The deed. I almost lost my thought. Well, I think well, overall where I was going, I had a momentum going. I was on the wave. Oh, it's talking about niggas. What they was taught. Part of why I'm doing what I'm doing today is because I didn't like what I experienced. I didn't like what I went through coming up. I didn't like what I seen in my neighborhood. I didn't like what I seen in my home. And I wanted to change it. I wanted to change it. But I went about trying to change it the wrong way. Because I tried to do it through street activity. It didn't work out for me. It led me where I could bring about a change. The right change. And here I am. You know what I'm saying? Here I am. Even though everybody think that I'm just get on here talking. You know what I'm saying? I work all day for myself. Handling my business. You see what I'm saying? Nobody know my business, but people that's part of my business. You see what I'm saying? You know? So people can't judge me. They don't know nothing about me. Like I can't judge people I don't know nothing about. You know? And we got to start being men and women and conduct ourselves better. Okay? Because until you come up out of your old ways, because the old ways of America has been thrown in the trash. You see what I'm saying? A new America is arising. And it's called a Moorish America. Okay? And we're about principles. We're about love. We're about truth. We're about peace. We're about freedom. We're about justice. We're about what's right. We're about everything that we weren't taught coming up under their boots, up under their control, that we gave them. They ain't take nothing from us. We gave it to them. We handed over our power out of ignorance, just not knowing. But you still got to accept responsibility when you agree to whatever terms. You signed the paperwork. You wanted the benefits. You wanted to be a part. You wanted to participate. Your signature is everything. And when you sign things, you hand over more than what you think you hand over. You ain't learned that yet. Some of y'all have. But we got to go through the experience to learn. If you don't know, you don't know. It's not a bad thing. What's bad is once you learn that you don't know, you don't do nothing about it. You don't change it. That's bad. That's negative. You know what I'm saying? That's an eyesore. To see somebody going in the opposite direction, to see somebody stand still and not strive for what they want in life, not put forth the effort. And it's that mentality that's about to get y'all in some serious trouble. A lot of y'all. It's not really sad. It's not sad. It's not. You know, it's like Noah in the flood in the Bible. Noah told everybody, y'all better help build this ark. You know what I'm saying? Because the flood coming. The people didn't believe him. They thought he was crazy. Same way I warn y'all about a lot of things. I communicate with y'all about things, and you haven't figured out that it's a call. It's a divine call. You see what I'm saying? Because I work for the Most High, you know. And I give praise to the Most High Mother and Father for the job that they have given me to serve. Okay? I love to serve. The thing about it, and I ain't gonna say it's other people, you know, the ones that had opportunity that's been in my presence and heard me and, you know, and didn't connect or build anything, you missed out. You know, you had opportunity and you didn't take advantage of it, you know. And it's not about me. It's about what I know. It's about what I've been given from the Most High Mother and Father to extend to my family. But I can only extend it. I can't make you take it. I can't make you comprehend or take heed of what I'm saying. But you're going to know that he mentioned it. He told us. Then you gotta, once you go through whatever you're gonna experience, you're gonna have to look back and ask yourself, why didn't I listen? Why didn't I pay attention? Because I know he was saying something I didn't understand. Why didn't I take time to understand him? You know how the prophet say the sheep know the sound of my voice? If I was given this knowledge from the Most High Mother and Father, then I'm just, I got two words in my head and they don't fit. I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. You know, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding come from on high. Comes from God, comes from Olodumare, comes from Allah, comes from Yah, comes from, I say Olodumare, Yahweh, okay. It comes from spirit, you know. It comes from the ancestors, which is from on high. I listen, I pay attention, I tap in. So what y'all want me to do? What y'all need me to do? How can I serve? And whatever they say, I do. You know? And that's how you got to serve. And if you're not ready to serve like that, then it's the reason you're about to experience. I ain't even used to using terms like these. That's why I can't even find the right word. Dramatic. Something you never seen anybody else go through. But it's going to be a good lesson. I had to go pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to find out you've been breaking the law. I don't know why I'm putting them glasses on. You've been breaking the law. You've been claiming to be a U.S. citizen. And since the U.S. don't exist no more, like I shared with y'all before, it's going to be one day somebody going to ask you about your citizenship. And you're going to have to say the right thing, fam. Because if you don't, Because they know who you are. But they not going to assume, because they going to ask you. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to know who you are, so they going to come and ask you. But when they ask you, and based on your answer, they going to know that you don't know who you are. And because you answered a certain way, they going to automatically know who you are or where to place you at, you know what I'm saying, based on what you say. Because everybody that answers a certain way, they already have a truth that them people don't know about. But the people that's questioning you, they know the truth. So if you don't answer the right way, that means you're not in tune with your God. You're not following your God. And if you don't follow your God, what are you subjected to? Anything that the devil bestows upon you. Okay? Because the devil wants your soul. Got your soul, most of y'all. Got your soul. It's just you haven't experienced anything dramatic yet to make you want to change. With some of us, we need to get shocked, to wake up, to realize, damn, I've been sitting around all this time like this. I've been dozed off all that time. And it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not a funny matter. It's a serious business, And it's all on the news. Y'all watch the news all day, every day, or every chance you get. Start paying attention and comprehending what's going on. And if you watch something that you don't comprehend, peace, brother, that you don't comprehend, ask somebody. Get some knowledge on it. And then if you can, go back and watch it again or reflect back on it and start putting the pieces together that you couldn't put together at the time you was watching it. So you can figure it out. Because it's a problem that you don't even know exists. So you don't even know if it's coming your way because you ain't took time out to understand what's being said or understand what's being said. Because you're so used to being comfortable in your lack of knowledge and always complaining about your lack. When you can seek knowledge and you can be abundant, the will of man makes possible the actions of the holy breath. And you got to activate that holy breath in you for you to have anything from the Most High Mother and Father, from Allah, God, Yah, Lodamari. You know what I'm saying? You got to activate that spirit and you just can't hold your hands out. Everything's within. You got to find yourself. And we got a lesson, or how can I put it? A lesson in our scripture, in our book, that goes like this. Oh man, I done messed it up with another one. How did that go? It done shot away. I got to think about another verse, and I'm reading that in my head, and it blocked out where I'm trying to find. But anyway, I was basically getting to the point of saying, if you don't take responsibility and do what you know you need to be doing, it's and everybody might be different. Okay, I'm pretty sure each person's experience is gonna be different, because the Most High, based on what you've been doing, how faithful you've been, how sincere, how truthful, and how many sins you've been committing, it would determine what your experience gonna be like. If it's gonna be harsh or it's gonna be light. You know what I'm saying? When you go through what you're about to go through. But you're gonna go through it. You got to go through it in order to learn, in order to evolve. Same way I had to go penitentiary, and I had to learn. I didn't want to be in there, and didn't think I was going to get out, but I was determined to get out because I know anything can go down. because I know how I am. Because I had a bad mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't take too much off of nobody. You know, that's how I had to learn to bite my tongue a lot. You see what I'm saying? But the reason why I had to bite my tongue, because I was undisciplined. And if I didn't bite my tongue, I would have made the situation worse. And I didn't want to do that. I was smarter than that, you know. But some situations, I got into some situations and, you know, it just had to be what it was. You know what I'm saying? And just hope that it didn't go so far. And it went far enough, but, you know, I had to learn from that. You know, we got to learn from the things that we find ourselves doing out of impulse. You know, letting our emotions control us. See, that's what you got to accept responsibility for. Because as long as you keep having loose lips, then somebody going to keep busting that lip. You know, and you're going to keep crying about it. And talking about somebody was wrong. But you don't accept responsibility that you ran your mouth. And everybody don't like to be talked down to. That's why love is the savior of the world. If you learn to love yourself, respect yourself, hold yourself in high esteem, you won't come off negative to nobody. You don't have to worry about getting your mouth busted or bullied. You know what I'm saying? Which has happened to some people. You know? There's no love. Got to embrace love, fam. Because through embracing love, we're about to bring in a new civilization. Let me put it like that. You know what I'm saying? A new civilization. We're going to be able to create life the way we want it. Because we know that this is our land. All over the earth. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say the meek shall inherit the earth, right? Now, scriptures ain't never lied. Matter of fact, it's been unfolding in people's life for some time in different ways. But just because you didn't experience it, it don't mean somebody else didn't. And that's why it ain't never about nobody else. Because whatever someone else benefit don't got nothing to do with you. It's about you walking your walk and fulfilling your purpose in life. You see what I'm saying? So you can receive what it is that you're supposed to receive. We always all in everybody else's business. When we need to be attending to ourselves, because it's so much work we need to be doing and we need to do on ourselves. But that's for those that know better. Those that don't know better, they're going to keep doing what they want to do. And they're going to keep getting what they get. Because that's what they choose. You know? And that's something that's so simple but so complicated for a lot of people. You reap what you sow. They done heard it so much, but they ain't take time out to ask, what does that mean? You know? Or to take time out to read it over and over again until the Most High Mother, Father, Lord, Amari, Jah, God reveals it to you, what it means. Because we need to get back to tapping in and loving on ourselves and understanding that you are your God. That means all the answers you need, you seek within yourself. And you are your devil. You know what I'm saying? Because anything bad happens to you, it's because of something you did or said or didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So you are your God and you are your devil. You are your savior and you are your destroyer. You are your worst enemy if you choose to be. But you playing a game, the blame game. Because that's what you was indoctrinated to do. That's what you was programmed to do. You got to break away from that program. You know. Because you caught up in caring about what other people think. But what you don't realize, that there are so many people that see you. and you think you hiding. You can't hide from the Most High Mother and Father. You can't hide. So when someone's blessed with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, there's nothing you can get past them. Nothing. And to attempt that, I'm going to say, is insanity. It's crazy. Because you're supposed to know better. It's basic mathematics. And I know a lot of y'all not equipped with that. And the more I say that, as far as knowledge and the lack of knowledge, you have to put yourself in one of them categories. Because one of them categories you fit. And be real with yourself. Put yourself where you apply. Once you do that, if you don't like where you're at, understand that you have the ability to change it and go over to the other side. Be on the knowledgeable side. But you got to start reading. You got to start researching. You got to start seeking knowledge of self. Because you've been neglecting yourself. You got to learn how to love yourself. You got to learn how to tell the truth to yourself. You got to learn how to find peace within yourself. And you got to learn to free yourself from all the things that's holding you down and imprisoning you from within. And blocking you from being your best self. Being your God self. You deserve to experience that, fam. To be your God self. But it's up to you. Nobody can't do it for you. You got to have it in you to do it. The same way you got it in you to do the things that you do every day. It's areas I got to improve, fam. I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together. Look, I'm going to give you an example. I ain't been working out. Okay? I'll do one set of 5 or 6 different things. You know what I'm saying? Well, normally I do 3 sets. You see what I'm saying? So I've been pushing myself to do the 1 set, and I might do it at sometimes I do it maybe every other day, and then sometimes my mind will get caught up in my work, and I won't think to do it, or I think to do it and not do it, and say 3 days may go by before I do it again. That's a lack right there, because I can do better, and it's on me to manage what has my mind and keeping me distracted from working out, or keeping me from feeling comfortable in working out and taking myself away from what I want to do or what I need to do or what I'm working on. You see what I'm saying? Because see, sometimes we can get so caught up in what we're doing because we got a passion for it, we got a love for it. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just so overwhelming to us that we don't want to focus on nothing else. But the key is you can't think like that. You got to think in a way to where you cover every aspect of yourself, especially not overworking yourself, taking breaks, taking time out. If you're stressing, stop doing what you're doing, relax. Inhale, exhale, breathe. It's life in it, and it's gonna give you life. It's gonna give you a satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to relieve you of your stress. That's what breath does. You know what I'm saying? It has that ability. Try it. You know what I'm saying? You'll be amazed at the abilities that you have, the power that you have, and how magnificent and holy and godly that you are. If you only believe. You see what I'm saying? If you only believe. The scriptures tell you believe in all things. Because belief going to take you where you need to be to know whether or not what you believe in is true or not. Make sense? Of course it does. You know what I'm saying? So that's your path. That's what you got to do to get to where you're trying to be. You know what I'm saying? Until then, what you keep choosing to do, you're going to keep reaping from those decisions. And that's the life you choose for yourself. So don't hate on the next man because the next man or the next woman is improving in ways that you would like to improve. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't just about liking or wanting to improve. It's about doing what it takes to bring about that improvement. You got to put in the work. Don't act insane. Don't be acting crazy like you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no common sense. You know, you got common sense. You just don't use it. Because you taught to run from your problems. You taught to bury your problems, your feelings, because somebody hurt you before. I've been hurt too. I had to get over it. I had to suck it up. You know, and I had to push myself up out of that and focus on my life, being happy. What the heck was that? They just took my whole screen somewhere else, trying to get me to punch some other buttons. But see, because I like to be quick to punch buttons, but I read it and made sure, because I felt like, man, this is a trick right here. So instead of me punching the button they want me to, I hit that arrow at the top. There you go, get me. And that's the thing. I think like that is because I didn't got before. Moving too fast. I said, oh man, I wasn't supposed to do that. You know? And that's what they do. They try to interfere with my video and know I want to get back to my video, so I'm going to hurry up, hit something, and then they got me to agree to something that they wanted me to do that they knew I wouldn't have done had they not interrupted my interview and caught me at a different time. You see what I'm saying? You got people out there that lurk on other people, you know what I'm saying, prey on other people to get something out of them. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's money, you know what I'm saying, attention or whatever they seeking for. You know, so we got to be careful. We got to be on guard. Like Scripture said, you got to have your sword. You got to have your helmet. You got to have your breastplate. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your boots on and strapped. You got to be ready to fight when evil comes at you. And I ain't talking physically as just the outer description of the inner work that you got to do. You got to be equipped in your mind. That means you got to be sharp. It means you got to learn some things. You know what I'm saying? It means you got to figure some things out. Because if you start figuring out your problems and once you understand your problems and how to fix your problems, then you can easily help other people fix their problems if that's what they want to do. You know, that's how that works. You help yourself first, then you can help other people. You know, but we weren't taught to help ourselves psychologically because the people we was following, they didn't have that interest in us to be equipped that way. They wanted us in the state that a lot of y'all still in, where y'all can easily be controlled or implemented fear in to manipulate you to do what they want you to do. They didn't practice it on you for years, for generations. You know, that's how they control you without you even knowing it. That's why you got to wake up and realize what they doing or what they used to be doing or what they did in the past. You know, even though to you it's still going on. You know, because you're not in the loop of any changes that's happening. Because you're not knowledgeable. You're not seeking to know or be in tune with nothing like that. So what does that mean? You're interested in the wrong thing? It depends on if you're interested in what I just said. Does that spark something in you? If it don't, then it ain't for you. You know? But fam, you know, that's what I got. And I got on here late because I was out earlier. And the way I came home, I decided to walk instead of, catch a lift or, a bus or something like that. Because I haven't been exercising. I wanted to get my walk in. So, and like most things, I got a passion. I come straight to my passion, doing my research, my studies, because I got to feed my mind. I feed my mind every day. Same way I feed my body. I feed my mind more than I feed my body. You know what I'm saying? Because my mind is more hungry for what I'm feeding it because it's been starving for so long. Because it wasn't given the food that I'm giving it. It wasn't given the knowledge that I'm giving it. I didn't get that coming up. I didn't get that in school. I didn't get that in the hood, in the streets, around my partners. We weren't on that. But the Most High Mother Father had a plan for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I had certain desires. I had certain aspirations and dreams that I wanted to fulfill. So, okay, come on up in here. Go on, rest up, lay your head. You know what I'm saying? Get to work. Fix yourself. And that's what I did. I fixed myself. And I keep fixing myself. Because, boy, when you think you fixed so much, which you have fixed so much, you'd be surprised. Boy, you turn up one layer and then probably 1,000 problems right there. You know what I'm saying? You like, what? Where'd this come from? Man, some of us got layers after layers after layers. It's some things you didn't forget, ain't thought about, and it just pop up. That's what happened to me back in 21. Something popped up, man, out of nowhere. I thought I really overcame things of an area where I didn't have to experience nothing like that. Ooh, that was a shocker. That was a surprise. See, that's how I know. Boy, every round goes higher and higher. In the same way they say your devil gets stronger, that means that temptation gets stronger. It means sometimes, too, there's something still being hidden that ain't been discovered that you got to deal with. But God ain't going to put too much on you that you can't bear, right? So those things got to stay hidden because he's revealing what you can bear at a time, one at a time. Once you conquer that, overcome this, he'll reveal some more to you. You know what I'm saying? Or she'll reveal some more to you. Or they will reveal some more to you. Or you will reveal more to you. Because at the end of the day, it's you. You are more important than you think or than you know. You are more valuable. You are... It's amazing. It is amazing. All praise due to the Most High Mother and Father. Man, this is a beautiful life, a beautiful time to be experienced the beautiful things that I'm going through. I was going to say we, but everybody ain't going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to understand something. Good. Here we go. In the lessons it say, from heaven alone art thou the hope for good. From heaven alone art thou the hope for good. Don't you know I pounded in my mind for years? Because I kept having to remind myself, from heaven alone. I keep looking for good in other people. And that's why I keep having problems with people. Because I'm outside of myself when I should be inside. What I'm looking for somebody else, I'm supposed to be looking for me. Look for good in you. You see what I'm saying? Don't look for good in nobody else. Let them bring the good. Let them bring out the good. And until they bring out their good, you bring out your good. Set the example. Peace, love, and happiness, family. I'm out of here. I pray and hope that my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding inspire, motivated, or encourage you in one way or another. Because what I want for myself, I want for my brothers and sisters. I want for my family. But me wanting it for you ain't going to get it for you. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? But I hope I can be an inspiration, motivation, or encouragement to you. You know what I'm saying? Through my words, You know what I'm saying? My knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know, that's why I do what I do, because I love doing it. You know, and I love to hear the truth demonstrated. That's why after I get through, I'm going to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear what I said. You know, I want to hear what the Most High said through me. You know, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to pay attention. I ain't going to be talking and trying to, you know. Now this time I get to watch. I get to listen like you're listening. And sometimes I be amazed by some of the things I hear. I was like, man, the Most High put it down. You know, I said, that was powerful. It came through me. But I understand it coming through me because I chose. I asked, what y'all want me to do? And I allowed it to come through me because I welcome it. I said, I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to submit. I'm ready to do what's right. And can you imagine when you do that, what the outcome is? Peace, fam. Keep love on your mind. And don't get in no trouble. Okay? Because if you got love on your mind, it ain't going to be nothing but love. You see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about in you. Don't look for good in other people. From heaven alone. And this is where your heaven is at. Because this is your kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. And all things will be added unto you. You know what I'm saying? It's right there. Peace, fam. I love y'all, man. Y'all have a great one. There we go.